Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to be taking you down a journey. Today we are going to be doing something very exciting. It's the first of many of my how-tos that are going to be coming up on my channel. We're going to be doing a contouring do's and don'ts video today.
This is so exciting.
I have had a very long personal struggle with contouring, with, bronzing, with all that, and I'm not shading anyone. I'm here to help you. Just give you my tips, my secrets, my best kept information. So make sure you guys are subscribed so you don't miss any more in the future. Make sure you have hit the bell so that you don't miss any more in the future. And make sure you have given me a thumbs up so that I know you don't want to miss any more in the future. Without rambling too much, I'm gonna show you how I went from this 4-ish years ago to this present day. Maybe you learned something. Maybe, just maybe, you pick up a few tricks from me. You don't necessarily have to use all these products I use, by the way. Like, just an FYI, it's just what I personally feel my skin is liking at the moment. So, again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. I love and appreciate all of you. Again, even with the struggle contour, like, damn, I look good. Damn, I look good. We're just gonna jump right in and get started. We're gonna get into sort of a method I feel like many people are sort of intimidated by, more so unwilling to practice, This is a do's and don'ts. We're gonna make my right side my exaggerated side. So basically my right side is gonna be the side where it's the don'ts, and then my left side is gonna be my do's. For my don'ts side, we're gonna start with a foundation. Is sort of, it's not necessarily that it's wrong, it's that it's a different undertone than what my foundation sort of needs to be. This is the ColourPop medium dark foundation stick. It's a very good foundation stick, and I think when I'm tanner, this is a great contour. And I know I keep talking a lot about when I self-tan, which I should do, so I can just stop and shut up about it. But basically, the way that many people tell you should be contouring is if you read like in magazines, or if you read in like many like short snippet tutorials on Facebook, like the videos that you see, they will make you say like do 3. It's the general that you've got to follow. So already you can see this is not my color, and if I was to do a 3 on myself, it would look very much like, which it's sort of, it's like applying the contour with no sense of direction. It's applying this product very heavily, very loosely, no sense of direction. You're just kind of, well, this is what works for everybody, so it should work for me, when realistically this is your face. You should work with something that is more so catered towards your face shape and like what you're trying to hide, what you're trying to like make pop out. For my do's side, we're going to go in with the Fenty Beauty Cream Bronzer. You see how it's just a little bit more warmth, a little bit more depth. It's not necessarily like this. This is like a chestnutty undertone, very warm, very olive. And this is just more cool. It's not necessarily a cool, because it's not a cool bronzer at all. It's just a cool undertone. Like, this is perfect for bronzing, but this is also good contour mix. So I'm gonna take this little small kabuki. We're going to coat it, and then we're gonna start with the placement. I don't necessarily need to do anything to my forehead because I have a round face and a small forehead. So the way I would apply this, we're just gonna do this line right there. It's gonna hollow this section of my face out and allow for my cheekbones here that I don't have, but we're going to pretend we have, or we're going to make it look like we have.
Alright.
It's gonna allow for my cheekbone right here to pop up. So basically, the point of contouring and playing around with shadow and light and all this with your face, it's basically, we're going to make this sort of sink in, and then we're gonna make the hollows of the cheeks sink in, and we're gonna make this be what pops out. Again, we're bringing this right underneath the hollows. You already see the difference. This is just a generic 3, so we put this way too, you know, forward, and this stops midway because it's already a lot of product, it's already a lot of cream. It's gonna blend out eventually. This is a very creamy product. And we're gonna do a little bit right here. We want this to go in too, and then we're just going to right underneath the ear, basically where the ear stops, not adding too much. And then on the nose, a little bit. Again, if you know anything I say, you hold it from the tip of the brush, and then very, very gently, you do what you do. And you place your contour, which reminds me, I did not. Many people try to do is they try to slim down the nose so much that it almost, like you see, like that just made your nose look very, very skinny, but in some cases you don't need it. It all, again, is very personal, very personal. We're gonna blend out the wrong side. We're gonna blend out the 3, which I used a lot. So hopefully this isn't too bad. Another thing I want to say, you have to blend with purpose. You know, you have to sort of know not to drag it out like I've seen people do. And then like when you blend out the cheek, I wouldn't necessarily blend with a sponge. That's just not the way I prefer it, because you see what's happening? It's getting very muddy, very cakey. Again, this is a very exaggerated example. Many people sort of can't figure out what to do with this, and then that's when the intimidation comes for the contour. When they've sort of outdid all their resources in this, and then they're like, you know what, then it's just not for me. No, it's for everybody. Oh man, this looks like peanut butter. Oh no, I did the nose wrong. I always do these things wrong. It's because I'm looking at myself in the monitor. You see? And then you're sort of left with this and like, what the hell do I do now? But the way that a lot of people I've seen counteract this is they're like, oh, you know, let's get the brightest concealer we can. So the way I prefer to blend out my contours is I grab a brush like this, yay wide, and it's already very suited to go right in the hollows of the cheek. And I like to start here. I like to start by pouncing first, remove so you can all see. I like to pounce the product, blend it, and then I like to cup my cheek a little bit when there's like very minimal product. Did you see that? Oof, we already just created some definition that is not there. Again, we're gonna lightly tap. Just sort of tap where it's already placed, and then with whatever's left, I like to take it, drag it onto the forehead. And this isn't necessarily to shadow anything, this is more so just to make sure I don't just have like a blank forehead, you know? And then right here, we like to blend smaller circular motions. And the way I like to generally go is up. We're giving ourselves the jawline. We don't cut. And you just gotta take your time with it. That's also another thing. Don't rush the process because you get peanut butter face. Go slow. Can you tell the difference already? Okay, the noses are gonna bother me. So let's make these noses right before I legit lose it. Alright, we did the best we could. But you see that, right? Like, the way that I've seen many people counteract something as harsh as this is by overly, excessively highlighting with their concealer. So they use also a very light concealer. And we're going to use the e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer. This is the one with peach. And we're just going to go in. You see how excessively lighter this one is? We're going to go in, we're going to highlight. We got right here, we're going to sculpt. You want to do the forehead, want a bright forehead, and the chin. Some people like to do the smile line too. And then we're going to go in again with the sponge. And we're just going to do the under eyes first. And you take that and then you work it. Again, we're going to highlight right here, the chin as well. And then we're going to make sure that this is nice and bright and sculpted. And then there is almost a definition right there. And I'm going to use this to clean up the hair. And this is a case of excessive highlighting, and you're just overloading products, you're overbearing your skin, you're putting too much on it, and you don't need it. So the way I would normally highlight is I'm going to take another full coverage concealer, so this isn't cheating because I love me a full coverage concealer. We use Tarte Shape Tape, and we're going to go in with 16 and Fairlight Neutral. The way I like to apply my full coverage concealers is a dot right there, and then a little right there, and then if I feel I need on my forehead, but we're going to do a little bit on the chin and see if we need to drag it out. So full coverage means you basically go easy on it. So we're going to do the chin first, though I don't feel it's necessary, and then from that we're going to drag it into the bottom part of the face. You see that? And how it just created more definition, more shadow, and more depth to the contour. We're going to go in with the forehead, and then we're going to finally go in with this. And you can tell that you don't need that much. And so I'm just drawing it up. And it spreads like butter. And just for good measure, we're going to highlight the nose. Oh, yeah. So I like to go in with a translucent powder. We're going to go in on the bad side with a very, very brightening powder. It's going to be my RCMA powder. And we're just going to dunk the sponge in. And we're going to go for it. Full on bake. Kitsch. Oh my god, we bake this. We bake the creasage. We bake the side of the nose. And we bake the forehead. And we're gonna let that sit. Now, I'm a fan of my RCMA powder. No shade at all. It's just not a powder that I bake with. How can I explain this? It's more of a powder that I set with, you know, translucent powder. And I'm not really a fan of baking as much. I mean, I'll do it. No, I won't. I used to do it. Then it started to make me look crusty. So I stopped. Now I more so set with a powder puff, or I set with a brush. Actually, I should set with a poof. Yeah, I'm gonna set with a poof. So now I'm gonna grab my Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent Powder, and we're gonna set with this Laura Mercier poof. And she's recently washed, so let's be nice to her. She's a little shy. The way I like to set is I like to grab my powder, dunk it, roll it on my hand, like so, and then I set. And like that, there's just no need for the baking, and you get same amount of wear time. See that? Let's do a little roll on the forehead, and then on little roll underneath. That pretty much goes as far as setting. Now, I do like to set at something else. We should wipe off this dusty. This is still my skin. So we just dusted off the bake. Can you tell the difference already? So next part is, what's the next part? Oh, I'm gonna grab a big fluffy brush just like this. I'm gonna grab a teensy, and then I'm gonna roll it on the back of my hand, like so. I lightly set my correct side before we go in with powders. For my incorrect side, I'm gonna go in with this brush. Now, I'm not saying that this brush is not a good brush. There's no shade to any brushes. What I'm saying is, for things like contouring and bronzing, I think when I have a self-tan and like it's a beachy no makeup day and I just want to throw something on, beautiful. But I feel like for something like precision, where you want to play with the shadows, play with the depth, play with definition, then you need to be a little bit more precise. I feel like this brush does not provide precision. And we're going to go in with our Milani Baked Bronzer. Again, nothing against the bronzer. I love the bronzer. Obviously, I have the bronzer. We're going to go in with our Milani Baked Bronzer. This is a very shimmery bronzer, okay? I wore this bronzer, and I'm only saying this from experience because I'm speaking from experience. I wore this bronzer, put it on with this brush. I took my ass to some comedy show. I took pictures with my boyfriend. I can't even look at those pictures with a straight face because my face looks so shiny, and I was breaking out really bad that day, and like my skin was going through it. I was going through it. I put this on. So we're gonna go into this side and we didn't even set this side, which if you guys noticed, I set this side because again, makes the transition to the actual powder products that much easier. And you see what that's doing? First of all, there's no precision, so you can already see how everything is blotching over. Let's go in on the underside of the jaw. You see how everything's just sort of clinging and grabbing onto the bronzer, how there's gaps and how there's space. Maybe you can't tell from here, but you can definitely tell up here. It's almost like an ombre, like it's lighter up there because it's clinging on. This is not the right bronzer. That one would go with right after to set. What I would use is something like my Too Faced Milk Chocolate. You also have to look for something that caters towards your skin tone. And I'm gonna grab this brush right here. It's an angled Morphe brush. I'm going to lightly tap. Oh, it smells like chocolate.
Chocolate.
And it tastes like chocolate too. And then we're going to very carefully and precisely. You see that? And again. Can you see? Can you see? That is how I set my cream bronzer. We've sort of, created the illusion. We wanted to slim down the face some. We wanted to create cheekbones that weren't there. The next step is to highlight, which I don't have a highlighter. I'm going in with my Amrezi highlight. Sure. We're gonna bring something very soft and subtle to the good side. We run our brush through the highlight and then use highlighter for what it's for. It's meant to highlight the higher parts of the face. You see that? Ooh. Another thing I see people do is they grab a brush that's way too harsh, something very stipple-like, very densely packed. They run the brush through, like yay, and then they just create a big line, just like that, because they say more is more, which, I'm not opposed to a little bit of highlight every now and then, but something needs to be said about you walking out looking like a Tin Man. I'm just not over the comparisons. They're so freaking damn. Yeah, I think as far as anything else goes, this is about the highlighters as I've seen, And then we set. You don't forget to set. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me for this. I hope you picked up many tricks. This is just what I've learned throughout the years. I have definitely improved, I feel, from this, because this was me like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, walking out thinking I was Kim Kardashian doing something, because she's kind of the one that like made contouring like a thing. So I'm not shading anyone, I'm not trying to bash you if you do this, I'm just saying there are ways to improve, there are ways to make this better. I feel like this is like a simpler, more elegant way as opposed to doing this. I feel like in this sort of environment you realize that like less is more in this situation. You don't need to do the most, you just need to like take it back and realize, enhance what you've got, and what you don't got you can pretend you got, and then until you wash off your face, and then your boyfriend's like, where's the cheekbone? Where's the cheekbones? It's all just flat surface here, Again, I hope you guys like this video. Please make sure you are subscribed and make sure you have hit the bell. I will do many more how-tos. This is first of many. I have a how-to for brows and a how-to for, liner coming up, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Make sure you are subscribed. Stay tuned for the next one. It will be up Thursday. It's gonna be a fun one. Again, stay safe. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. As of today, I have 56 subscribers, so we're close to 100, and when we do get to 100, there will be a giveaway for all. Again, have a good night. It is currently 2:34 a.m. Should probably be thinking about going to sleep, so anyway, bye. Oh, these lips are looking fatal. What if I just went like this? So yeah, guys. Okay. Should I do one more? Okay, I'll do one more.